Okay, hello Erica and Paul. So I want to show you a bunch of stuff. Bear with me. We're going to get to the house that you sent me. But first we have to go over a bunch of stuff. So what you see in front of me is your options for financing. The first two options here are conventional and FHA mortgage loan programs that provide assistance. So we met and started talking and all that kind of stuff. Gosh, it's been years now, 3 or at least 3 years. It was before the pandemic and maybe even four. I'm not quite sure, but anyways, it's been quite a while, and things change a lot. And the FHA and the conventional programs, basically that we used to use, don't exist anymore. Here's the Home in Five program. That's the Maricopa and Phoenix IDA. These are like government bond programs that they raise money to give down payment assistance for first-time home buyers for. In Maricopa County, Home in Five was the major player, um, and we used to be able to go into, and you can do this too. This isn't anything special for me. This just go to you can go to homeinfiveadvantage.com, and it's the number five, homeinfiveadvantage.com. And then on the menu hamburger over here, you click on resources for lenders. And I want you to know that, so it says that they're offering this non-amortizing forgivable second loan as down payment assistance. But I also want you to note where it says note, some rates may be temporarily unavailable due to volatility in the market and show as NA on the rate sheet. And this is whether we know whether these programs are available or not. So we click on today's rates, and here we are. So this is a chart of the different programs that they offer. So these are the conventional products, and your qualifying income has to be less than or equal to 80% of the average median income. And the average median, 80% of the average median income is $63,200. So your income has to be below that to be able to use these programs right here. But hang on, all they're doing is pricing the the rate that has no assistance, because here's your assistance: 3% down payment assistance, second 4% down payment assistance, second mortgage. Just like they said, the second like if you remember over here, it says Home in Five is offering a 30-year non-forgivable second lien. So that's what that second means right there, the DPA second. And they would give you 3% towards your down payment and closing costs, or 4% times your and usually these rates that are associated with it is 3% had an interest rate slightly higher than markets, so it would be like maybe 7.25%, and then 4% was higher than that, like maybe 7.75%, and then 5% would be like 8%. So they kind of make you pay for giving them money up front, or yeah, you pay over time in your interest rate for giving, having money up front, because um, uh, that's kind of how they recoup the money into the program. So this this would apply to you. Right now, the interest rate is 7.5% with them pricing no down payment assistance. They're not pricing down payment assistance on FHA or VA, or these are 30 years, 7-year forgivable. These are other conventional products. It doesn't matter. They're not pricing them. So, and quite frankly, they have not been pricing them since May. So these programs, and the word on the street is they're not coming back anytime soon. And I have no idea why they put an update on there on October 22nd, and then not even a month later, they have still not priced anything. So this the point here is that these two options are not available. So before I eliminate those, I'm just going to show you that This debt to income, line number 11 right here, the debt to income ratio is different for each loan program. So just know that. And this is the multiple that they use to get the portion of your housing expense that you qualify for, less any revolving debt that you have. So they basically, the formula is they take your gross monthly income and then multiply it by a debt to income ratio. And from there, they subtract your gross and your minimum monthly revolving debt payments, like car payments, credit cards, student loans, alimony, that kind of thing. So these two programs, just know that that's how they work. That these two programs, one of them with a down payment assistance, if it were available, and it's not, you would qualify for $36.73 a month or $35.80 a month. I mean, you don't even want to pay that much, so you qualify for more than you would buy, but they're not available, so we're just going to hide those options. The other two options are FHA and down payment. FHA and conventional without down payment assistance. Now, this means that you need, for a $400,000 house for FHA, you're going to need 3.5%, and 0.035 times 400,000 is 14,000, and you would need 12,000 for conventional, because you could do it at 3% down, first time home buyer, but that is, all they're doing is giving you a break from the 5% down that conventional normally requires. So that would be $12,000, an absolute minimum. We could get sellers to pay the closing costs and all that kind of stuff, so you don't have to come any more money out of pocket. You would need money for your inspections, and that's a couple of $100, $500, say. So you'd need, close to 13,000 and 15,000 for these two options. And unless you can pull money out of, like a 401k, or get a gift from a family member or something like that, you only have 7,000, you told me, and you're about 5 to 7,000 short for these programs. So those basically aren't available. The UMB Bank program, though, this is UMB Bank. They have a down payment assistance program that is available right now, and it is absolutely awesome. They give you 3% for your down payment. You only need to pay the appraisal and your inspections, and that's about $1,200 total. And you only need a 600 credit score, and there's no benefit to having a higher credit score, unfortunately, but it makes it a little bit easier for you to qualify. But other than that, and then there's no mortgage insurance, whereas on the other programs, there's monthly mortgage insurance, and FHA even has an upfront mortgage insurance that you can finance, but it just makes everything more expensive. So this program is really great. It's got a lot of great benefits, but there's also some limitations. And here's one of the limitations. The combined yearly income requirement is no more than $106,000 a year. So they will split it up, and so they will. Okay, so they will split it up, and then you can buy that way. There's one more requirement. If you were to make $106,000 or less, then if you're more than $63,200, which is the 80% of the average median income, like I said earlier, then you would have to only be able to buy in certain census areas. Now hold on, because there is a nice census area that you're looking in that you could buy houses in. So let's just assume that you can't get your income verified. I guess one of the options would be that to see if we could somehow get your income verified to $106,000 a year or less, because right now you're at 110 combined income between you and Paul. And so that would be, let's see, this minus this, it's like $5,000, $4,900 a year, and that's basically, so $412 a month. Now, this whole process from beginning to end can take like 2 months. So what I'm saying is you go to your boss and say, I would like a pay decrease for 2 months, and that needs to show on my W-2s, and I do not want to receive that money. And basically, for 2 months, you are paying $824. This kind of is, instead of income, you can kind of call it an expense, right? Because it's the same thing. You either don't get the money, or you get the money and you spend it. So if you don't get the money, it's sort of the same thing as an expense. You just don't have it, and this is kind of going towards your housing expense. So, but why do you have to do it that way? Because having your income at 106,000 gives you a whole bunch more options, and I'll show you why. Because we could do it with Paul's income only, or your income only. Let's start with Paul's income only. Okay, so right now I have it set up where on this program with both of you, if they somehow allowed $110,947 a year income, which they don't, but if they did, you would qualify for 3211 on this program. But because the income is 106, let's just try it with one of your income. So I did it with what you told me, 61,027 for Paul, and 49,920 for you, Erika, and they use a 45% debt to income ratio. So when you take your combined income of 9246, which is those two added together, you get 4161. However, they need to subtract your revolving debt payment, and I believe you had pretty heavy car payments. I can't remember exactly what it was, but $700 is a pretty expensive payment. It might have been more than that if I remember correctly. I'm not sure, but let's just say that it's 700, and you told me that your minimum credit card debt was 250 or 252 or something like that. So, excuse me. That would give you the 3211, and let's just say that your car payments were $1,400 a month. It doesn't matter. It still gives you 2511, and this is kind of, sort of not even what you kind of want to spend on your monthly expense anyway. So you basically, what I'm saying is you're qualified, more than likely qualified for something that you want to buy, up to what you want to buy. But here's the deal: without your income, Erika, and I know that you said that Paul doesn't have a car payment, and we can maybe get his credit card debt down to $50 minimum payment a month by using some of that $7,000 towards paying off his credit card debt, so you have more buying power. And we can bring your just Paul buying alone and buying anywhere, and not in census areas, anywhere you can qualify for, up to 2239. Okay, so 2239. Let's go over here and see what that is, what that relates to for. I kind of did it ahead of time, and I kind of know. So let's see. This would be 750. So that's 2211, 20, what did we say that you qualified for? 2239, let's keep that number in mind. 2239, it's right down here, okay. So 2239, and this is 2239 minus 2211. So we are a little shy. Here we can go up to 40. It's about like 240-ish max. 340, not 240. You did say that Paul's credit score was 712, and yours is 690. So if you take 690 and you add it to 712, and then you divide that by 2, your average credit score is what they will use between the two of you, is 701. Oh, Paul's is 712. That's in the same exact threshold. I'm going to keep it at 701 because anything between 7 and 720 it makes no difference. It's the same number on the chart. So anyway, and we're going to use the 701 for the. I'll just put 712. It doesn't make a difference. 712. So that's Paul's credit score. Your average credit score is 701. We'll keep that in mind. So here on the UMB program, a $340,000 purchase price, UMB gives you $10,000 down payment, and we use the money that you have for extra down payment to pay off your credit card to have higher qualifying power. At today's UMB's interest rate, now notice today's UMB's interest rate is at 6.59%, and those other down payment assistance programs with no down payment assistance were at 7% or 7.25%. So we're below market interest rates on the UMB program. There is, that's your principal and interest payment at your 329.8 loan amount because they gave you the $10,002 off of the 340 purchase. That gives you a 2104 principal and interest. You have yearly taxes of about $750 in this price range. It's pretty low actually, though it might be higher, but $63 a month. Let's say hazard insurance is $77, so that gives you your $22.43, and you qualify for $22.34. We're at $4 off. $22.39. Sorry, we're $4 off. So basically you qualify for about $340. And from you looking around on the internet lately, you know in the area that you're looking at that there's no houses that you're interested in for $340. So here's the deal. We have to. This is the best option for you for sure to try to get any affordability and try to get into something. And I know you're gonna not like the payment, but bear with me for a minute. So I'm gonna show you how we can work this. So back to your income at $49,920. Let's say we were able to get your employer to verify $45,000 of income to make it that 106. Okay, it would have to be 44.9. Yeah, so the one below the 106 yearly program. So then you guys can qualify on this program for hang on. So we had to put in the $700 and then the $250. Or no, just $50 because we use the $7,000 that you have to pay off the debt. So basically, again, more than what you want to pay, way more than what we want to pay. But so let's go over to here. Let's see what 32,222 gets you. It okay, you're going to have much higher taxes. So you're going to have probably $1,500 in taxes. 32,222. So you might be up to okay. So 485, whatever. A couple of bucks here and there. They're not going to squabble over. So anyway, and that's, remember, to get you to the 32,222. So you qualified both together if you could possibly get your income verified with W-2s down to 106 instead of that 110 that you're making now. I mean 110 that you're making now. We have some options that we can work with. Now, because you're above the $63,200 a year threshold, you'd only be able to do it in certain areas. Now let's see what those areas are. Hang on, where are we here? sorry. Okay, so here are here's my MLS system, and all these shaded areas are all of the census areas that are allowed for income up to $106,000 a year. If you made less than $63,000, 63,200 a year, you can buy anywhere. You don't have to pay attention to these census areas, but we saw that that doesn't qualify you for anything today. So basically, in the areas that you're looking at, and this one's even maybe a little bit too far west for you guys, but this is 7th Street, and this is an area that stretches from 7th Street to 16th Street, and it's north of Bell. And there's a couple of not too bad little communities in this little half-mile block here. Excuse me. I need to take a drink. So let's take a look at, and then these, I don't think these options are that great. They're patio homes with really small lots. These are kind of patio homes-ish too, but some of them have bigger lots. So let's take a look at the options. We'll just sort them by price. I'm going to sort by ascending, and sorry, takes a second to update. So this is a 364. It's a good price. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but it is only 231 square feet, and it has a 3,490 square foot lot with only a 2-car carport. The carports are actually in back, like you kind of approach through like an alley, or it's almost like a it's just like another. It's not really an alley. It's just a driveway that's in the back of the all of the units, and they kind of the garages face each other. So this isn't. I know this is not what you're looking for with a small lot, and I don't know if the 2-car carport will do you anything, but it's probably a little bit small square footage, and between those three, it's probably not that great. So here's one for 375. So this one's got a 2-car garage, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's got a good sized lot, 8,400 square feet, 8,147 square feet lot. And it's got a 2-car garage, and we can take a look at the pictures. I think it's clean. Did I look at this one and just kind of like not updated? Oh no, this isn't the one I was thinking of. This one's got nicer flooring than I was thinking of. Oh, this one's not bad, but again, hang on. So it's only 1,100 square feet, so kind of small. And then there's this one for 4,069. Now this one is 1,300 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but again, a smaller lot, 4,262 square foot lot, and it's clean. I've been in this house. It's not really updated, but it's not disgusting. It's just not updated. And the floor plan's a little bit chopped up in this one too. So we jump up to 415. Now this one is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's only 1,000 square feet. It does have a pool, but I just think that's too small square footage for you. Let's see what the lot size is on this one. The lot size is 8,000 square feet, so that's a normal size lot. Come on, pictures. No. What's going on? Sorry. We were on mural, and then what happened? Active. That's really weird. 3-bedroom, it should be 1.75 bath, and not to 2. why single family, active. It gave me a, man, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. I clicked the key and then it freaked out on me. So here we go. We'll go back. We gotta edit this. Okay, so we have to look in zip codes 85024, 85022. Actually, just 022. 24 and 27 were the ones that were okay, here we go. Sorry. Here, change this too. I gotta get rid of the list price. Active. I'm gonna put coming soon. Single family detached, yeah. Okay, here are the 5 that are available. That's that one on Mural that I just showed you. But then from there it jumps up to 465. And this one's not bad. It's not a bad looking house. It's a little bit cluttered. It does have a pool, but it's got a small backyard. It does have a pool. 4,300 square foot yard again. But I mean, these are your options. And so let's just say that you could sacrifice the yard for now. Let's see where we'd be at with a payment on this one. 465. Now bear with me for a second, okay? 465. It had $31 a month HOA, and it had $14.40, I think. In what were the taxes? The taxes are $14.29. You can see the taxes over here on the right-hand side, about lower screen. I'm circling them here. $14.29. Here's your HOA. It's $92 quarterly, which is $31 a month. And then so we got a pool, 2-car garage, and 1,300 square feet. Still a little small. So maybe it's not this one, but hang on a second here. So let me get back to the spreadsheet. Sorry. So this is 14.29. So you qualify for that. It's 31.32, and it's definitely too much. So what isn't too much? That's going to be something like that. Let's say maybe we can get rid of the HOA. I think most of the communities in that little area right there have an HOA, but let's go with like 435. Okay, 435 is still pretty expensive, but here's the deal. So let's go down to 415. Okay. So that's what it would be for now, and wouldn't be that forever. So let's say that interest rates went back down to 4.5%. Then you're at 22.52. Let's say they went down to 4%. You're at 21.34. Interest rates were as low as, and actually lower than 3.5%, which is at 2,000, which is what you told me your rent was going to be at. So knowing that rents do nothing but increase, and knowing that you'll have payment stability for 30 years when you lock in your mortgage, maybe you would want to pay more than what your rent could potentially be in the or mortgage or housing payment could potentially be in the future. Let's go to 425. That's only at less than 2,100. Let's go to 435. We're at 2112. I love that. I love Rush. Great album. Rush's fourth studio album. Anyway, that's my point. Right now, however, 435 would be $2,900. So for a year, you'd have to suck it up and pay $800 more a month than you wanted to pay, knowing that after that you could likely, not positively, I don't have a crystal ball, but here's the deal. I do want to show you this. So this is a mortgage interest rate chart over the years, and it starts in 1973. Okay, so actually this is probably like 1977 or something like that. Oh yeah, 1973 to 1975. Okay, so these gray, darker gray markings, these lines that go up and down, not the blue line, but these other lines that go up and down. These are your recessions over time. There was one in the 70s. There was a couple in the 80s. There was one in the 90s. There was one in 2001, and there was one in 2009, right? That's the most recent one. It's 2009 when the crash, right after the crash, was a huge recession. So here's the interest rate line over time, average national interest rate for mortgages, okay? So you will see that every time we enter a recession, by the time we exit the recession, interest rates are where they were when we entered the recession. Actually, they announce the recessions usually before they, after they start. So here's your interest rates went up to here, and when the recession ended, the interest rates were down to almost where they were when they started to rise. Does that make sense to you? Same thing here. Real sharp, super sharp incline, and then right back down when we exited the recession. This recession took 6 months to go through. This one took 1.3 years to go through. Again, right here, interest rates started rising sharply, and by the time the recession ended, interest rates were below what they were when they started rising super sharply. It happens every single time interest rates go up, and then they go down in the recession, up and down in the recession, up and down in the recession, up and down in the recession. We are right here, and we are about to enter into a recession. And as soon as we do, it will take somewhere between 6 months and 1.5 years to get back down to where interest rates were before they started to rise, in that 3 and 4% interest range that I was just showing you, where that payment of yours is going to be around $2,100, not much more than $2,200, in roughly a year, possibly a year and a half. You're also going to have to wait for your equity to increase by 20% before you can refinance, because you're going to be in a mortgage that doesn't have any mortgage insurance. And to get another mortgage refinanced, you'll have to be in another mortgage that doesn't have any mortgage insurance. So actually, in this scenario, we could allow that $7,000 could be, or 6,000 of it. You're gonna need 1,000 of it for inspections and all that kind of stuff. But 6,000 of it can be extra down payment, with you guys qualifying together, because we can allow your debt to remain at $252 a month for your credit card bills, and we don't have to use that $7,000 or $6,000 to pay down your credit card bills to get your debt lower, because you'll have enough buying power for what you want. So let me just show you how this spreadsheet is really sophisticated, right? So this program, it doesn't necessarily make a difference what your credit score is, because as long as it's over 600, you get the same benefit as everybody else. That's not true with conventional. It is true with FHA. FHA, your credit score doesn't necessarily matter. It has to be above a certain threshold for you to be able to qualify. And then as you have below that, you have higher interest rates and stuff like that. But for average borrowers and people with your credit score, FHA has one interest rate and one mortgage insurance, more importantly. And let me show you what I mean. So if you were to say, well, forget it, we're just going to wait until interest rates go down. If you're so sure that interest rates are going to go down in a year, Todd, then we'll just do this in a year. Well, first of all, you won't be able to do it in a year with this program because your income will be too high. Frankly, it already is too high. We're trying to do something right now where you could maybe possibly work something with your boss where you make less income to be able to qualify for more right now, if that makes sense to you. Because you'll be able to include your income and not only Paul's, you'll be able to jump your buying power way up to be able to give you options to be able to buy. And the options may not be great, but if you wait, I don't know how long it's going to take you to find the $5,000 or whatever, but if you wait to save that money, let's say it takes a year, and let's say that interest rates are lower, but in a year prices are probably going to be, well, let's say they'll be the same. They might go down a little bit, but then when interest rates go down, the prices are going to start to rise up gradually again, and it's going to be the ebb and flow of how interest rates and prices relate to each other, right? When interest rates are low, prices go up. We saw that the last 2 years. When interest rates were 3%, the market went through the roof with prices, and when interest rates went up, the market slowed down very quickly. So there's a direct relation to interest rates and prices in the market, right? So you're going to get some, in a year, you're going to get some more equity gain by next year, I believe, because I believe interest rates are going to start coming down by then. So they may not be down as far as 4%, but people are going to start buying again, and the market activity is going to pick up again, and you are going to start seeing appreciation in prices. So you're going to be paying at least more, or if not the same. But here's the deal. So because this program is so great, let's say that you are able to save up the 3% that you need for a conventional home purchase program. So this spreadsheet can switch over to conventional from the UMB program now. And I want you to notice that in the UMB program, in the UMB program, there's a couple things I want you to notice. That the mortgage insurance, this area in blue here, is 0, okay? And there's no upfront FHA, upfront mortgage insurance. There's no VA upfront financing fee. It's just a regular, very similar to a conventional loan in the respect that it doesn't have any upfront mortgage insurance or fees, but conventional does have mortgage insurance if you do not put 20% down. And you're only going to put, we're going to say 3% down, so we're going to go with a conventional 3% down program. Now you notice that as soon as I switched over to conventional up here, it automatically put in your mortgage insurance rate, okay? So your mortgage insurance rate is 0.0079 or 0.79%, and that is of your base loan amount. So with this same $430,000 purchase price, if you're using your own money in conventional, when you have the money in a year, you're going to need $13,050 for your down payment. I don't know in a year if we're going to be able to have the sellers pay the closing costs or not, but let's assume that we can. Let's assume that the market didn't come back that fast and sellers are still willing to negotiate on closing costs at least. So your down payment, major base loan amount, $421,900, and let's say that interest rates went down to 4.5% in a year. Okay, so same exact house, but because you have mortgage insurance, now your payment's going to be $2633, and that's going to be your payment pretty much forever. Let's say that the interest rates went down to 3.5%. Then you're stuck in 23, almost 2,400, and I told you a solution where you can get to 2,100 for the same exact house, same exact purchase price. Now, let's say you were able to somehow save up 5%. Okay, So that makes your loan amount less because now you have $21,750 down. No seller can give you this money. You have to be able to come up with your own down payment money. There's no mortgage program that allows a seller to give you your down payment. There are plenty of mortgage programs, FHA and conventional, that allow the seller to give you your closing costs, but not your down payment. That's the bank's security that you're able to, or you're willing to look out after that down payment and not let your house go into default because you want to save that $21,000 and you don't want to lose your house and your down payment money. You notice that your mortgage insurance automatically went from 0.79 to 0.68. It went down 0.1%. So, or is it 1/100th of a percent? Yeah. Anyway, it only saved you a little bit in your payment. You're now down to 2307, and again, I gave you a solution for 2100 permanently for 30 years after refinance down into this mortgage interest rate. So you're probably going to be chasing values and chasing the time where you can have enough money to put down, and then the value is going to be higher, and then your payment's going to be higher than what you want it to be. Even interest rates, let's face it, they're never going to be below 3.5%. We never thought they would be this low when they were that, and if they do go down to this again, which it's likely they could come down close to this again, it's not going to be lower than that. So there are your options. Sorry, I was trying to think of what else I could say here. So, yeah, I mean, maybe we need to talk, or you guys can just decide that you don't want to do this, but I'll put you into a feed that has just the properties that I showed you in this in these highlighted areas here. Now let me show you one more thing. Yeah, let me show you one more thing. So we can edit this search where we now have only properties that are under contract or have sold, pending, under contract, contingent on contract, backed up or closed. And let's do in the last the last 6 months. That's fine. So this will give you from 5/7 to 11/7. And there's 471 that sold in that area. In that time. Oh, sorry, there's 7 that sold in that area in that time. If the system needed to adjust, 471 was quite a few. Okay, so let's look at those. This will tell us the likelihood of what's sold recently and in the past, as to what the prices were, and if anything kind of fits. So I'm going to sort these in ascending order from lowest to highest. What's closed recently is, gosh, I mean, so this shows you that prices are going down, right, for sure, because 493.9 was the lowest sale in the last. That is so messed up. Yeah. Off market between 5/7/22 and whenever, and in that zip code, just in this little area. Yep. So this is the opportunity to buy something, but I know that you don't like the options because of the lot size, but maybe that's something that you could overcome. Let's see, back to actives. Now again, I want you to understand that the one that you showed me, that you sent me just recently here on, I can't remember the name of the street, but whatever it was, it's not in these census areas, and Paul can only afford up to 340, I believe we decided, right, by him, qualifying by himself, separating his income out. If it was with Paul only, 2239. Interest rates are 6.3959. This is 340. But usually you have, oh, sorry, we're in UMB. 2260, 2239, 338. What? 247 was $8 off. 338, 337. I think I used a different. I might have used 850. I don't know exactly what the taxes are going to be. I'm just kind of guessing, and so yeah, you're around that three. I think I said 340, because a couple of bucks here or there is not going to make that much of a difference off of your $2,239,000 qualifying power with just Paul alone. So the likelihood of getting these folks that you at the $400,000 purchase price to reduce their price by $60,000. I mean, we could try. Crazier things have happened, but I doubt that's likely. So I can tell you that the companies, there's an Open Door and OfferPad, are both corporate based, investor based, kind of Wall Street hedge fund money funded properties that right now they are letting their properties go for big, like almost 100,000 on some of them. Quite a few of them, at least $30,000 below. Tons and tons, $20,000 below. There's a bunch at 80,000. I saw one that was at 100,000 less than list price. But that's company owned. They have no emotional aspect of it. They just know that they need money back in their pool, and they have houses that are tying it up. And if they get a little bit less money back, well, at least they have money back in their pool that they can do something else with that's going to start making them money, rather than just sitting on it for years and years at the wrong price. So I know that house that I'm going to bring it up here. Let me look it up real quick while I got you. Here it is. Here you are. Let's see. '36 Way, 14,215, 14,215. So let's go 14,215, North 36th Way. So it says buyer did not perform, so back on the market with new price, charming gem location. What we can look at the history, see what the pricing was. Price change. They went was under contract at 425, and then they dropped it to 400, and they started at 509. So I mean, the likelihood of these people having the mentality of in in July of this year of thinking they could sell their house for 500,000, and now having it dropped at 100,000 already, and 25,000 less than what they had it in contract with somebody for. Maybe they didn't have it at 425, but that's what it was. Somebody had approached them with an offer when it was at 425, and maybe it went down to as much as 400,000 when they made the offer, but they're 100,000 less than what they, or more than 100,000 less than what they thought they could sell it for in July. And now we're going to ask him for another $60,000 off of that. It's really tough pill to swallow and put yourself in their position. Let's see what they bought it for. I think they bought it for 180 or something, 185 in 2014. So, I would approach it in the respect that 2 years ago, this property was worth um, probably two 250, 275, and maybe 325, something like that. So they're still making money on what it was worth 2 years ago, and certainly still making money over what they bought it for. They're just not as much. They're not gaining as much as they could have if they had sold in the height of the market. But now the market is what it is, and here's our offer. So think about it. Get back to me with some feedback on what you guys want to do. Appreciate your time.